We're live.
All right, what's up, guys? Hopefully people are in here. We got everyone seated.
I'm going to tweet out the link while we're live. Hello, everyone. If you're here already, bear with us for just a second. We're going to tweet out the link, and then we're going to go live.
I'll smash that retweet button.
My mom's basement. Thank you to anyone. If you're here already, you're one of the real ones.
A loyal fisty.
Yeah. that could be our awards at the end of the year.
The Swifties, the Fisty Awards. the Fisty Fight of the Year.
We could send people a massive fist.
We create our own crypto.
It actually would be, honestly, that's not a bad idea.
Not a bad, yeah. Big gold fist. It looks like the top of the chum bucket from SpongeBob.
That's a good point. We create our own cryptocurrency, support fighters.
Yeah, everyone shouts us out.
Yeah, everybody, everyone go buy coin fist. Or the fist coin.
Honestly, what would be even funny if we sent it to someone via Cameo and had them present like their award to themselves.
That would be funny. All right. Tune in now for the first ever Spinnin Backfist draft and a recap of the fights, headlines of the weekend. You're seeing the sausage get made right now, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm excited for this draft.
We're going to do a draft, first ever draft of the most exciting fighters, the fighters we like to watch the most. And the rule, the caveat, it's a 5-round draft and we can't repeat weight classes. We can't repeat a weight class. So once you get someone lightweight, no more lightweights. Once you get someone a heavyweight, no more heavyweights for yourself at least. So, all right. I tweeted it out. I think we're about ready to get going. I'm going to do a real intro for the people on the podcast feed.
Smash retweet. Let's do it.
Hello and welcome to the Spinnin Backfist MMA show presented by Barstool Sports. It is Robbie Fox, Big Ev, and Jack Mack back yet again on a self-produced show again. So if you can't hear us, let us know. If it gets blurry, let us know. We are the producers, so we're the ones you got to talk to about that stuff. We're here to talk about some fights that happened over the past weekend, some headlines that happened over the past week, and no fights really in this upcoming weekend.
Unfortunately.
Of course, the MMA hardos came at us this morning and they said, there's more to the world than UFC. There are fights this weekend, you nerds. All right, we get
Cage Warriors, I think?
And probably some Cage Warriors this weekend.
Because there's no Memorial Day.
Because I think there's no Bellator this week. There's no PFL this week.
And I think it's weird because UFC usually does a good Memorial Day card. I remember Cody Garbrandt fought Thomas Almeida on a card years ago. And then Wonderboy fought Darren Till on a Memorial Day weekend card.
That's a couple of great cards.
Yeah. So I don't know why they're not doing one this year. It kind of stinks. I am going to do my typical go down the shore for Memorial Day weekend. Are you doing the same?
Me as well.
Nice.
Last year was the first year I didn't go in probably like a decade.
Same. Yeah. I have like a cousin's house we always go to. Yeah.
What beach?
Lavalette.
LBI.
It's nice.
My great aunt has a place in LBI.
Nice.
Usually a seaside rat though.
My mom just moved though. This is, I don't know how MMA related this is. My mom just moved to Tom's River.
Oh,
so I'm going down to her. So that'll be nice.
That's where I always went as a kid. My best friend who went his grandma's house there.
Nice. Little League champions, obviously.
Shout out Tom's. I played wiffle ball on that field.
Yeah.
His grandmother's the Wheaties box still in her house.
Oh, really?
Yep. Big time.
I was on the news like when I was 0 years old in 98. There was like a Tom's River news report. My dad's holding me like, yeah, here we go. Yeah.
0 years old.
What should we start with? Should we start with the fights this past weekend? Should we start with headlines? I figure we'll finish with the draft.
Yeah, I would say fights because it was, not like a crazy card in terms of just like brand names kind of thing.
Yeah, and not like the most over the top card. The prelims were really good.
There's some really good finishes for sure.
Really good finishes. The main card, we had some decisions go where it's back and forth. Holm, I thought, got fucked in that main event. It wasn't a robbery. We talk about that a lot. Like, was it a robbery? Was it not? It was a close fight. I thought Holm had done enough to win it, and it fucked our parlay, so I was just way more biased.
For sure. And some could argue we caught a good break on the
Iron Turtle fight.
On the Iron Turtle, which
that
was another one that was close too.
Break.
I didn't know how to feel like going in the decision. I was like, you know what? Like Eric Anders, like he kept just going for these takedowns, and I understand like there's no defensive points in MMA. But he was going for these takedowns that he literally didn't get like any of them. Like he maybe got like one, and even then it was like
held him down
two, like
held like 18 or something
for a very short period of time. Like Park was able to get right up.
19 out of the 21 judges on MMA decisions, which of course are media members, had Holm winning. I would say that's close to a robbery.
See, for me, what it was she like neither. There were points in time, especially some of them like rounds like 2, 3, 4, where I felt that like especially like 3 and 4, I felt that Fiera like didn't do a ton, and like Holly Holm didn't either. But I felt like she had just done a little bit more in terms of just cage control.
Sal
But it wasn't
D'Amato
even control on the back. Like, it was literally just up against the cage.
Yeah.
Sal D'Amato was the only guy. He's the one who won us for joining
the
on
Iron
the card.
Turtle, yeah.
And he was the only one who gave it to Holm.
Man, maybe
He
you set him
bet.
straight.
No.
He heard what you said.
No, maybe he bet the Spinning Backfist parlay.
he might.
He
have.
might
No. That's a bad accusation.
I like to think he heard what you said, and he was like, "Let me go back to the lab. Let me study some film," and he got better at judging.
After 15 years of getting yelled at by every person ever, he just heard Jack Mack from Barstool Sports like, "Oh man, I gotta switch things up."
He woke up splashing water in his face, looked in the mirror. He's like, I gotta shape up.
I gotta
Listen,
figure this out.
I gotta turn this thing around. I'm trying to pull up the prelims here. Our guy Chase Hooper got a great win on the prelims.
Really impressive.
There's some crazy scrambles in that fight.
There was Chase Hooper for the first time. I mean, like not no disrespect to him. It's more just his age. He looked like he's starting to become a man.
I agree.
Like,
The hair, he cut the hair a little
even
bit.
His physique, he looked a little less boyish. Like you could see he's starting to come into his own. And now it's to the point, especially he fills out the next couple of years. I mean, I don't know how long he's gonna be able to stay at featherweight. He's like 6'1".
He's tall, yeah.
Like if he can stay this weight for a few, he's gonna be a massive featherweight.
Yeah, and with
If he can
his
stay that
grappling
way.
ability, obviously, when you get a long grappler like that in that division, I think he can do a lot. But like you said, I don't know how long he'll be able to stay there because 6'1" featherweight. That's what I am right now. It's 6 foot, and I don't cut weight.
Like I'd have to imagine by the time he's like
I'm pretty fucking
20,
skinny.
I'd have to imagine by the time he's in his mid-late 20s, he's got to go up to lightweight. I just think like once he starts putting on more of that grown man weight, like more and more, it's gonna be tough to keep.
I was gonna say
making
though,
that
he's
at
gonna
his
have to put on
size.
a lot of weight to
Because he's
compete
like
at lightweight.
he's long too. Like he's not just like he's rangy.
Yeah. Good fight for him though. The first fight of the night was women's strawweight fight. Sam Hughes got the win over Elise Reed. Got a finish in that fight as well. There were a bunch of finishes. I want to say that was the Chase Hooper fight the only one in the prelims? No, that Jonathan Martinez also went to decision.
Finish.
Oh no, he did. He did.
Cooper got a,
I was looking at the wrong one. Jonathan
both got
Martinez and
third-round
Vince Morales.
finish. He got a third round finish. Hughes got a third round finish.
I saw that. I remember it might have been Lee. It might have been our account. It said like unheard of back-to-back third-round finishes, which was true.
Yeah. Eros Medic. How do you say his last name?
Yeah, Eros. I think Medic. Yeah.
Medic.
Versus
He had his
Omar
second round
Morales.
finish.
Yep.
Against Omar Morales.
Yep.
First round finish for your boy.
That was
Yeah, Almeida.
I mean,
he's a monster.
a
Dude.
perfect game.
He's a
Zeros
monster.
and
Yeah,
all
zero
of Porter's. Yeah.
I thought Parker was going to survive the first round, but then it just
As
Once-
soon as
once
he
he
got
was able to
taken
get his
down,
back,
you
yeah.
knew like okay.
he did defend the takedown for about 20 seconds, but and
it was like all right, is the
10-8
weight
round.
difference going to come into play here?
Nah.
And then he just like picked him fucking 10
Dude,
feet in the
he's
air.
and he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Like
We talked about it. He fights
Almeida's
at
so
light
strong.
heavyweight.
That's where he belongs. So you can see, I mean, because he was 225 and that was just like no cutting.
Yeah.
He just looked great. He
Yeah.
was a monster.
Yeah.
I just think he's going to be in this weird spot. I tweeted that. I think he's going to almost have like this little, like, see, it's different with Hamzat because Hamzat's like more got the public attention. It's like run his, like kind of like got to talk shit, like this and that, like I smash, blah, blah, blah. Like Almeida's going to be kind of like the silent boogeyman, I think, where like people just aren't going to want to fight him.
And he doesn't speak English, which will help him with the media in terms of not having too much hype.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hamzat, like, imagine if Hamzat could not speak and say, could not speak English and say
And talk his shit.
talk his shit.
I
And,
mean,
like, it may-
he'd be Shavrat,
Shabrat,
yeah,
who-
you're right.
like,
It's a good
he's
point.
on my
yeah.
big board,
who's 15-0 with 15 finishes.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
but he's
They
I
got to
hope
push
they
the
don't rush
Brazilian
him.
Khabib with him. If
Yeah.
they want to like
That's what like when I saw him Contender Series, that was what I saw. And then I've seen his 2 fights in UFC. That's exactly what I've seen.
when as soon as he linked the legs and put him in between his legs, it was just like, oh, there he
Also,
goes.
if you go back and watch his not obviously this one, his last one against Danelle Marquez,
who isn't a bad fighter.
he's a good grappler too.
Yeah.
He has a crazy he was the one, if you remember, he was on Kennedy and Cheku's back for like the like 2 full rounds.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then
Ncheku would just like finish him in the third
Yes.
round. But Almeida has this his ground and pound, not quite as crispy as Khabib's, but it's crazy. Like if you watch the Marquez fight, he literally just goes, he's on top of him, and he literally just goes like this, like
yeah.
straight down. And they
Yeah.
and just beating the shit out of him. Now it's wild.
No, that's he's
a monster.
impressive, and he just ran right through.
He's a
him.
monster. He's like I don't know who's gonna want to fight him.
Never
Like,
a doubt. Yeah.
I follow a lot of UFC fighters on Instagram, of course, and I've never seen so little posts from a fighter like Parker Porter because he only posted once on his story about this fight. I think he probably understood why.
Yeah.
He signed up for a beating. He got a beating. he did take some tough ground and pound punches, but
yeah,
he got submitted. He got paid probably double what he probably makes. He probably like got paid like he won, and then he'll be able to come back and fight again at some other time.
He had been in a 3-fight win streak.
Yeah. I mean, he's not bad. It's just
he's not bad.
I didn't realize he's just one of 3 fighters from Connecticut in the UFC too. I feel like talking to Jack Mack every week makes me think that there's like 10.
There's
every week.
There's a lot of people that train out of there.
Yeah,
like Glover trains out of there,
True.
but they're not obviously not from there.
There's Parker Porter. There's William Knight. And then I'm blanking on the third.
It sucks to be the third that even Jack Mack doesn't know.
But then obviously there's Glover. There's what's his name? The guy who knocked out Adesanya Pereira.
Alex Pereira.
But he's
trains
Brazilian,
out of Connecticut.
Though.
He trains there.
He trains there.
Glover.
Yes.
But and so does there was another girl that fought recently though. I think she lost though. But
the main fight of the prelims was the Joseph Holmes Alan Amedovsky fight. First round submission. That was a real quick.
Somebody might have said home submission on the podcast.
Oh yeah, this was a pretty good week gambling. I mean, the
I
parlay
ended up
you got a couple, right?
Yeah, because I switched who I liked in the Santiago fight, and then I liked Holm a lot. I really thought she was going to win, and I mean, in my opinion, she did. And then I also lost another split decision. Oh, we'll get to it. To beat the Ricci against.
That was a weird fight.
It's a weird fight. I mean,
Viana was just laid on her back like she was.
Yeah, Robbie had that video.
I tweeted, that she ended 2 rounds just on her back, like doing nothing.
She wanted it was just. I mean, Ricci was just doing a good job. Like it just seemed like she just wasn't going to get submitted. Like she was being smarter than that.
What I was confused with, which is what a lot of people were saying on Twitter, was why didn't Viana try to take down? I mean, that's easy to say, but like if she got on top of Ricci.
She would.
I think she would have had because Ricci.
And was her corner even suggesting that?
I don't even know what her corner was suggesting. I was watching on train, so I didn't really have great audio. I was watching like 360p, but
if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure they kind of were telling her to stop doing that.
It seemed like she had no urgency.
At least by the third round, they were like, "Stop."
I think the commentators were saying it. I
think the commentators.
No, they were saying they heard it from
the coach by the second round was like, "Stop! Stop just laying on your back."
I don't know why she was.
I mean, I get why Ricci won, but she literally caused no damage. But I get it. How do you give that to Viana?
Yeah, that was a weird fight. The one that kicked off the main card was the Eric Anders versus Jun-Yun Park fight. The Iron Turtle. He came through. I didn't think he won. I thought Eric Anders edged it out, and I texted you guys we're gonna need a miracle from the judges here. It was a close fight. I didn't. Another one where not a robbery, but
I was a little more optimistic than you, just because I thought he had landed.
Too.
I thought he had landed some better strikes, and even though Anders was probably coming forward much more, he was doing nothing.
Also, the live line going into round 3, was minus 200, and then Anders started off round 3 okay. But then, in my opinion, Park took over by the 230 mark.
Definitely won the fight.
And with that live, they took it down because the last 2 minutes they really don't take any. But the live line kind of showed me I had a decent feeling. I wouldn't have cried robbery or anything, but I was actually going to go look up what
media scorecards.
Yeah, I mean,
it was
more
a good
people
fight. Eric Anders brought it to him the entire fight. That was part of the thing that made it entertaining. He didn't necessarily get the takedowns he was going for.
It was almost like he didn't
put him
have
on his back heel.
Hands. He was trying to take down somebody without hands.
And both guys ate some pretty big shots as well.
Yeah, they did. Also, the shitty bang bang elbow knockout was
oh my god,
crazy.
Crazy. Just I don't know what the word is to describe it. How flush that elbow landed on his face.
His legs almost came over it, his whole body.
He went legs up.
His legs were flailing. He hit the ground. His legs almost came over his head.
That game we used to play quad.
He just got hit so hard.
That's one of the best nicknames in MMA. Shitty Bang Bang.
Shitty's his first name.
That is awesome.
No, he's awesome.
Yeah.
2-0 in the UFC, two first round knockouts.
I love that nickname. I love that fighter.
Knockout in 8 seconds?
I think 16 seconds was the first one
against Marc Andre.
This one took him less than a round. And then the co-main event, Pereira versus Ponzinibbio. Good fight, another split decision fight. This was everything I expected it to be.
Not even close.
I tweeted that right afterwards. I was like, you give him the bonus right now. There's nothing that.
And honestly, that was when I felt good where I was wrong on Ponzinibbio winning, but I felt like I capped it right in the sense of Pereira was going to fight early and then Ponzinibbio would come back.
Yep.
because I thought Ponzinibbio won the 3rd round.
Prayed and fuck around with him. Didn't do any
he didn't get crazy with him.
Yeah.
He knew. And it's funny because obviously Pereira's been around for a while and he's still so young. Like now he's ranked now.
Yeah, it's
Like,
weird how long he's been around too. It feels like he just joined the UFC like recently.
And he has a lot of like really good wins.
Yeah.
Like obviously Ponzinibbio, I would say definitely is his best win, but
definitely. Yeah.
he called out Masvidal with a super weird call.
He wants Masvidal. He's been calling him out for a
So,
while.
but it was like
he's not going to get him.
But it was like Masvidal like slid in like his wife's DM. He's like, yeah, like let's like talk about it in the cage.
And then Masvidal, I think, posted like messages being like, no,
what?
that's not true at all. Very weird call out, but a good fight.
Matt, yeah, he's not getting Masvidal. He should get somebody in the top like 10, I think, or at least top 15.
And then our main event, Holly Holm versus Caitlyn Fiera. Holly Holm took the decision loss. I didn't feel like she did. We kind of touched on this already. I think it's her 2nd loss in a non-title fight. Valentina was the first. Kind of a crazy stat for her. Kind of like a Uriah Faber-esque stat back in the day when he would be great in everything except title fights. Cowboy Cerrone, another one who was great in everything but title fights. It's tough for Holm. I don't know what's next for her.
This is a bit, I mean, she's 40.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where you really go from
She's
here.
talking about boxing one more time. If she wants to do that, she got to do it quick.
If she wants to box, Katie Taylor, like let's
fuck
not do that,
her
please.
up. She wants that fight. That's what she says.
Let's not do that, please. Let's do Serrano Taylor again. Let's not do Taylor. Holm. That would be a horrible fight.
But it would be good for Katie Taylor's stardom.
No disrespect to Holm. It's just Mother Nature's undefeated. Like she looked old too.
Yeah, she was.
She just didn't look. Even her last fight, she looked so much better. Like I just didn't think she didn't look nearly as crisp.
It's been
like
2 years since her last fight too.
Her striking just didn't look very good. Like I don't know.
Her kicks, she wasn't working in the kicks nearly as much. No. When she did, some of the front kicks were landing, and I was like, why is she doing that more? But there was like, I would say probably she threw less kicks than she has in a couple fights.
Yeah, she just didn't look like herself to me, like at all. You could see the 2 years, like the 38 to 40, it definitely took a toll on her.
Yes.
She looked older physically, like just like kind of just everything. Like she just looked old. I don't know where she goes. I think kind of that was like her. It's tough because but it's like even if she won, like she's got nothing for Valentina.
No. Nothing
Juliana.
Either of them.
Not Valentina. Excuse me, Juliana. She had nothing for
either
Juliana.
Of them.
I was thinking Valentina just because now that news kind of broke that
Valentina.
She basically said she's probably going to fight the winner of Nunez.
Which, hell yeah.
Pena, unless I guess if Nunez wins, I'm sure they do trilogy. But
yeah, you're right.
But I mean that Shevchenko, she's fought both of them already. I mean,
and it's like Caitlyn Chukagian keeps winning in that division. She's not going to fight Caitlyn. I love Caitlyn, but that's just like not something
not
you're
exciting.
Make.
It's just not. Yeah, you're just not like getting up for that.
Also, Caitlyn's entire style is just. It's like I don't know how she would ever beat Valentina because she's playing tough, Valentina's game. And Valentina's just better at the game. It's
I like
tough.
to think she would beat Valentina with the same head kick she beat me, and then I could be like, "Oh, I know how it feels."
Then you could challenge Valentina.
Yeah, exactly.
For the flyweight.
It's like, well, this makes sense. We both lost to the champ, so yeah, here we go. Let's talk about some headlines. I wrote down some of these that I saw on
but Valentina's
Reddit.
fighting.
She's fighting Talia Santos, soon.
Which I don't think's like a walk in the park for her.
Not a walk in the park. I'm just kind of almost. I think Shevchenko's pound for pound female one.
Me too.
Yeah. I think she's. I don't know. It's just hard for me to see her losing to someone that's not like Amanda Nunez.
Yeah.
Or Juliana Pena looks impressive again. It's hard for me to see her not like losing to someone that's not that. And even then, like I think Shevchenko would still be the favorite against a Juliana Pena who's beaten Amanda Nunez twice.
You think so?
I do.
Wow.
She already beat her. I mean.
Yeah.
Shevchenko's. I mean, she's just so. I think she's just much more like technically sound.
I
could be wrong.
No, she is.
I just could be wrong. I just think of her if
she's less likely against a brawl.
If Pena were to beat Nunez again, then obviously we'd get her a lot of brownie points in the Vegas world.
Yep.
But I still think Shevchenko would be.
Depends on how she beats her too.
Agreed. I would say she even gets a finish again.
Yeah.
I think it's a close odds. Like it's not crazy. I would guess Shevchenko would be a slight favorite.
That's a fight I want to see again. Like, especially after talking to Juliana and being like, I want to get that back.
Dude, she got me fired up when she was in here. She's hungry. Like, she really wants it. I respect it.
Agreed.
Is there, I mean, maybe I'm reading this wrong, but there's somebody laying a Pena 7-1 against Nunez?
7-1?
That can't, I mean.
Maybe it's
I'm
like
pretty sure, isn't Nunez minus like 180, like 200 range?
I'm looking at it right now. Maybe it's just
because we talked about when she was here. Like she knows she's like I'm still
best
the
fight odds, which is
that like
sometimes they pull like fake.
Yeah, those odds on you see now you probably can get real odds because the fight's been officially announced.
Yeah,
I can look and see if it's on ours. It could potentially be there already, just because like it's like a future fight.
While you look for those, speaking of the Ultimate Fighter, Juliana Pena, Ultimate Fighter coach, Tony Ferguson said he would want to fight, or not fight, but coach the Ultimate Fighter against Khabib, and Khabib is very down for it. He's like, let's do it.
It's minus 285 plus 245 on others. So
there you go.
Whatever, they must be pulling something else.
This would be interesting, and I also think this is like something that the Ultimate Fighter should lean into in the future with the UFC. I don't think you should kind of limit yourself by having the coaches have to fight at the end of it. We looked at McGregor versus Faber on the Ultimate Fighter. They didn't fight at the end of it, and that was one of the most memorable seasons we've had in the past 10 years. Like the Ultimate Fighter this season, not a ton of people talking about it.
No, I was actually just going to ask if you guys have watched.
No, I watched the first half of the first episode, and that was as far as I got.
I was thinking on Thursday, like last week, I should just sit down and watch it, but I've not yet. I had a busy weekend.
Is it good? I haven't heard anyone say anything about it.
The last episode actually was good because they were like really talking shit. It was Usman's brother fought.
Oh,
another guy who like really brought it. Was a great fight. Like ended up being a 3-rounder. Like it was 1-1.
Did he win?
Usman's brother won.
Yeah,
close fight. I thought he won the third round though.
Okay,
they both dropped each other.
Oh shit,
good fight. The other guy dropped him first, and the other guy who's this big white guy. He was talking a lot of shit.
Oh shit,
he almost hurt himself in the third round because he was so like. He got in like his like Michael Chandler like war mode where he just was like he literally was going like this at him like shit like but then he kind of was and he was definitely then he was eating some big shots where he was eating them but he was just getting hit.
Yeah.
And then Usman's brother kind of just like I thought he won the third round. I thought it was the right decision that he won, but
the other guy was convinced. This, though. Imagine Khabib versus Tony on the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think Tony would be a great coach too.
Yeah.
Obviously, Khabib's a great coach. Everyone knows that. But no, I would definitely be down for that.
Even like, imagine like if they could do DC and Jones on the Ultimate Fighter. Like, just take a retired guy and like throw him in there, see what happens.
And that one, I almost like, I like feel bad for DC.
Yeah, it's like,
because it's like so tough when you've just been gotten like destroyed.
Jones could just keep being like, remember when I knocked you out?
That's what I'm saying. Like, remember when I just like embarrassed you like multiple times?
Yeah. Tony also said he wants to go back to school for a degree, which respect to him for looking to do that. It would be hysterical trying to be like Tony Ferguson.
Tony wants to do everything, though. He wants to be a professional baseball player. He wants to be a professional basketball player.
He's like taking notes next to you in those Hitman gloves. Like,
yeah. In his sunglasses 24/7.
He like shows up every day in like no jacket, but like a button down, a tie, and like a vest.
Vittori
with a baseball too.
This I thought was funny. Like Vittori just double checks and makes sure that Rob will fight him in Paris. He was like, "Wait a minute, I'm hearing mixed things. You gonna fight me in Paris?" And then Rob just tweeted like all caps Paris. So he got the confirmation. He will be able to fight him in Paris. That's gonna
be an awesome card.
Yeah,
you have Ty and Cyril.
I wonder if like some
two of them is the co-main probably.
Yeah,
I wonder if some Italians will go to Paris for Vittori.
Oh, I bet they will.
Or there's probably
are there restrictions?
No, probably. I don't think so. But also, there's probably like a sect of France where there's a lot of like ex-Italians who live too.
Definitely,
because it's like any country around there. I mean, they're all so connected. So, and Vittori's more like he's not like American Italian. He's Italian.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He's got the shirts and everything. Like when he wears the silk shirts and stuff. Matt Brown says that the one time in his UFC career that he missed weight was due to a fake UFC doctor approaching him during his weight cut and saying, "Hey man, you're good to stop cutting." And he never got like he never got that taken away. Like that he didn't know who the guy was. Like still, the guy just went off into the dust.
Like on the day he was cutting weight.
I guess so. Like honestly, a guy was like, "Hey, I'm a doctor from the UFC. Like you're good. You hit it."
Honestly, my brain initially went to straight just like some gambling corruption. Like some dude like put on a doctor. He's like, "Yo." He's like, I'm gonna like. What if I told you I could guarantee Matt Brown would miss weight? Like, would you bet that he missed weight? Like, plus like
this is a movie we could write where it's like the three of us are the stars, and it's like trying to get
Matt
Brown to miss weight.
We're all just like down in our luck. We're like, fuck, like we need to make some.
It's like the uncut gems bet. We put everything on it.
Like, how about this? Like, which one of us looks the most like a doctor? That Jack Mac does.
Put like a lab coat on and one of those stethoscopes
and so
or whatever.
Just with a fake UFC badge and go in there and just tell Matt Brown he needs to stop cutting.
Immortal. You're good.
It would be a not.
It's safer for you. You can't keep cutting weight.
Yeah.
You have to miss weight.
It would be a lot like the uncut gems.
Yeah,
because that bet that he makes in that is like the fakest bet ever.
It's like, and then it relies on like a tip, right?
Putting a parlay that banks on a 5-leg parlay with the opening tip.
Yeah.
and then they go and place it at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut when like during the time of the shoot, like Connecticut didn't have sports betting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the fakest thing ever.
That is an interesting.
Like they go to the teller at this Mohegan Sun, like there's no sports book, but
no, they're in Vegas.
No, they go to Connecticut.
They go to Connecticut
because she takes. They get her a Blade helicopter.
You're right.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, you're right.
Cheeto and Song Yadong were going back and forth on Twitter this week over a potential rematch. Song Yadong says like, "Hey, it's been 2 years since we fought. I took that fight on short notice. I thought I won that fight." Cheeto was like, "It took you 2 years to grow some balls. Like, no way." And
but Song Yadong won it.
Yeah, he won very controversially.
It
was
like the
Song
first
Yadong
Fight
won.
Island card.
Yeah, it was one of them.
But people thought it was the opposite way.
I believe
he wants
the
a
one
rematch
stick.
now.
I believe it was on the fight card when Figueiredo choked out Benavidez.
That's why I blocked it out of my memory.
Yeah, tough. But I'm pretty sure.
So
smart on Song Yadong.
Yeah,
I mean,
Cheeto's a bigger name at this point.
You know, really, Cheeto's ranked number 5 now.
Yeah,
like he's fought down a bunch. Like I think he's at a point where he's not trying to fight number like 9 or 10. He's trying to fight like top 5.
And he tweeted at Cheeto being like, "I saved your fight. Don't forget that."
But
like,
holy shit, what a fight that would be!
Because I think Song Yadong's gotten way. I think they both have gotten way better.
Way better.
You could do that as a fight night main event.
Cheeto's just so durable.
Yeah, the
especially
thing
the
with
last fight, like
he's just this dude right now. It's like hard for me to just see him getting like knocked out. And I mean, that's what Song Yadong has been doing his last few fights.
Yeah. Kamaru Usman says no timetable for his return. Still hurt. Next challenger should have to go through Colby. I don't disagree with any of that.
I don't either. Usman's in a weird spot. Like I've said it a couple times. Like there's part of me that thinks he almost is like, listen, I don't think he's afraid of Hamzat or anything like that. But there's like this part of me where he keeps just the way he's like wording things, like just like keeps like putting off. He's saying like, oh, like we'll see what happens if it gets there.
Putting the obstacle if you have to go through Colby first.
Through Colby first. Then he's kind of said things like, I don't know how many more fights I have left. Like him kind of almost saying he wants to like Khabib it a little bit, where like I don't think he wants to wait till he loses. I think he wants to like go out on top kind of thing. I don't know. It's a weird situation. I think he does have a legit hand injury, no doubt about it. But it seemed to me like they wanted to book this fight in like July, and then now it seems like that's not going to happen. Clearly,
no, it doesn't seem like he's
they just
even
announced
close.
the 2 July pay-per-views, and he's not on either of them. So obviously not happening.
So they have to go through Colby. Let's say Colby beats them. Do they do it for a third time?
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Because like, what do you do? Just do Leon versus Colby,
and then let's say
versus Colby. Like that's pretty much the 2 options.
If Colby beats Leon and Hamzat, you have to give him another title shot.
I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. What else do you do? I mean, Hamzat maybe like and then Colby, of course, will want that, but that's going to be.
You think Colby wants the Hamzat fight?
No,
I think
he's saying wants to fight for the
belt. He'll fight Usman again like today.
For sure.
Yes,
100%.
Definitely. Speaking of July pay-per-views, we got a fight possibly added to UFC 276. This one's up in the air. People saying it happened. It's not happening. Charles Jourdain versus Shane Burgos. I had to mention this because holy fuck, what a fight that is.
Banger.
That's an awesome fight.
And I'm glad people are starting. I feel like the casual fan is starting to see the hype with Shane Burgos and just, dude, he's all like, obviously we're going to do the action fight.
The last fight helped. It would have helped a lot more.
His last like few, like, I think he's won fight of the night. His like 4 of his last like 5 fights.
Wow.
Billy Q fight. Well, he didn't get it. Literally, the fight of the year was the fight before him. And Dana even said they both got bonuses.
Yep.
The Edson Barbosa fight was fight of the year.
That fight was awesome.
What was the one? But he had a crazy one like before that.
Action fighters. Not to give away any picks, but Edson Barbosa over the past couple of years would be towards the top of my list.
And then like his fight, I know his fight with Calvin Keator. He lost that one too. Fight of the year.
That would be
his fight with Josh Emmett. He lost a really close decision fight. That was like a fight of the year.
Josh Emmett, another guy who just fucking.
And so
I like Josh Emmett's tattoos.
So the reason they're saying that they don't think the fight's on, actually crazy. Obviously, Burgos and Emmett fought. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it was 2020. It was a fight of the year nominee.
Yep.
And Emmett actually flew Burgos out to like basically train with him the last couple weeks.
Oh.
And I think it was for a week or 2, and basically be his like Calvin Keator.
Interesting.
And he's also Burgos, like I said, he's also fought Calvin Keator as well. So that was kind of interesting. Like guys, like once foes, now friends.
That is nice. I like when you see that happen in MMA.
Yeah, he flew him out to Sacramento. He spent the last like week just training with Emmett out there.
The final news item, this one's a disappointing one if, it comes to fruition this way. Ali Abdelaziz says there's no way Kayla Harrison versus Cyborg is going to happen. Nobody's interested in that fight, he said.
See, like, the second part is bullshit.
The second part is
I don't know why he said that.
Like, if you're a fight fan, you're very interested.
Also, you're Kayla's manager, like, that's the fight people are most interested in. There's no other opponent you could realistically match her up with, taking the UFC out of the equation.
See, that to me almost makes me like, that makes me, and I'm not putting this in Kayla's mouth because her manager said it, not her. But like that, like that makes it like she's like, that makes you look like you're ducking.
Yeah.
Especially someone or Cyborg posted the image, like Cyborg wore the fucking legend shirt and she wore Legend Killer. And it's like
legend. And then you saw she quote tweeted, said Legend Ducker.
And it's like, well, you haven't killed any legends yet.
No,
you got to kill one. If you beat Cyborg, you're a legend killer.
For sure.
But
I don't see why she wouldn't want that fight.
I don't see why Ali wouldn't want that fight. That's big payday.
It just doesn't make sense to me why I don't. It just
very weird. Seems like literally everyone. Kayla's down for it. Cyborg's down
we brokered it.
Don Davis.
We shook the hand. We've talked to everyone but Ali.
We've been
get him in here next.
We've been doing that for weeks.
Yeah,
and then just Ali
just more pro
just
on this fight
on
than
us.
us.
You know that
we were guaranteed ringside tickets.
We were
by Don Davis.
You remember that tweet? Remember that tweet after like the Don Jr. Tweeted something, and then a New York Times reporter quote tweeted it and said, "I've been working on this story for months," and he just
tweeted it out. That's us.
Tweeted it. That's us right now. Like, and he just
said nope.
No, he just tweeted it. Because I think it was like something to do with Don Jr. But yeah, I was so confused when I saw that. I was like, what context am I missing? Like what?
Well, I'm gonna go big brain here. When you say you don't want it, bigger money gets thrown at you.
Yeah, there has to be a reason.
I'm gonna put my manager cap on for a second.
True.
Like there's a reason Ali. I mean,
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, after our interview with Don Davis, he threw him an offer. Ali was like, "Let's get more."
And him, Ali, and Cyborg's managers both have two things one thing in common. They love tweeting from their fighters' accounts.
They do, yeah. I love when like one of Ali's fighters will start going on a rampage, and then the other fighters that aren't like under him will start tweeting back like, "Shut up, Ali."
And then it's like the Scooby Doo meme where they pull the
hood off.
They pull like Kamaru
tweeting from like Islam's account.
Yeah. It's like I've never heard Islam speak like this in my life, and then it's like it's a thread.
And shout out to Aljamain Sterling. I saw it was Aljamain Sterling Day in Nassau County.
That is awesome.
Oh yeah, that's
pretty
awesome.
Sick. Get that going on. Like he had a whole little parade going on.
I'm a big I love just kind of being like growing up in like a small town. I appreciate like I don't think there's anything that would give me more like joy. If they had just a day in my little like 10,000 town of just like Big Ev Day.
That's a new
that'd
goal.
Be unbelievable. Like that would be
Big
unbelievable.
Well, I would.
That'd be special.
That'd be fun.
I would go.
That'd be unbelievable.
And you would have like your favorite.
One of my bars at Ohio State did like a Big Ev night. That
was
really? Yeah.
Wow. Since you were at Barstool, I see.
Yes. Yeah. Post. Yeah. That was really cool. Even just in Columbus.
A Big Ev Day. Like, what would it like your favorite dinner, like or favorite barbecue or
we're
something?
Just going on like one of those little drop top convertibles just through the like village of Goshen.
Yeah.
Like
get your nicest Hawaiian shirt.
Just like waving everybody like that. That sounds fucking awesome to me. God bless them.
Before we go on, PFL coming to New York City.
PFL coming to New York City, coming to Cardiff, coming to London.
They're
going on tour, and that's like huge for them.
We got the inside scoop.
Yeah, we did.
But we're just.
I wish we could have broken that.
Good people's. Yeah, we didn't break it.
Shout out to us for like that shows to him that we
had
we're loyal.
Journalistic integrity.
I think
when someone says off the record, we keep
Don.
Stuff
we're
off the
loyal.
record.
We didn't say a word.
I think
we let you post it.
We may have an invite. It seemed like we did.
Obviously, we got an invite
to
New York.
He invited us.
We'll be at the New York card if you're going to that one.
Right down the street, right over there.
And now you want to get into this draft?
Yeah.
Most exciting fighters draft?
So we said
how many rounds are we going to do?
I said 5 rounds.
5 rounds.
Okay, yeah.
Draft. Yeah.
And I said basically my mind's just, I think someone said it, but I agree with it. Just only one person from each weight class.
Yep.
I had an idea if you guys want to throw this in too. If we want to do maybe you have to have at least one that's unranked. That might not, I don't know how people's big boards are. That might or might not be a problem for.
My big board, I have unranked.
I was going to say I made my big board looking at the rankings. It
doesn't even matter.
I went through all 712 UFC fighters
I went through most of them
on their website,
and
I got to say, their website made you refresh every 10 fighters. So I pressed the load more button on UFC.com fighters, literally. What's that? 75 times. Yeah. So yeah, so UFC, you could have made that a lot better, but it was cool because sometimes you forget fighters' names, but if you see the face, which UFC.com has, you're like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
That's me. I recognize faces.
Maybe
but
we could
not
add one girl
names.
or one female fighter.
I made a female section just in case.
I don't know. It seems like he doesn't have any on his big board.
No, I did.
You saw that face. He was like, oh fuck.
No, I did have somebody. I didn't know if I probably wasn't going to draft one, to be honest.
All right, no,
I did have a few on my big board though.
Maybe 6th round and add like a bonus round female.
A 6th bonus round, a female bonus round.
Right,
I like that. Okay. And how are we going to decide, like, what's the pick order?
That's what I was just going to say.
You have a random generator on? Well, we could probably find one.
You want me to? I have my computer up.
Yeah. Get a random generator of 3 numbers, and we'll go like 1, 2, 3, and then put those in. See who gets first.
All right.
You're 1. I'm 2. You're 3.
Yep.
I'm pulling it up. It's a wheel of names, so I'm just gonna put our names.
Oh, a wheel! Shout out to the Yak.
Shout out to the Yak.
Our show is a little bit bigger, but they're getting there.
Entries. New. Okay, here we go. Loaded to phone.
I'll pull up the chat while you're doing that. What's up, chat?
Yeah, what's up, chat?
Appreciate
This is
you
a
guys watching
lot
live.
harder than I thought it was going to be. Oh, wait, never mind. This is easy. One of the wheel of names is Ali.
Oh.
Huh.
All right. Jack, Big F, Robbie. All right. Can they see it? Yeah, kind of.
What's the color?
All right. You're red,
Okay.
yellow,
Okay.
blue.
All right.
All right. How do I spin it?
I think you click on
Oh,
it.
tap
On
the
the
spin.
wheel.
All right, here we
So
go.
this is for first pick, or you pick where you want to be
First pick, I guess.
first.
First.
It's on
Who
you,
do-
Bob.
Me?
I
Yep.
think.
All right.
Robbie.
Everyone knows who my first pick's going to be. Come on.
So you're going first.
Yeah.
And then we'll just spin it again. I'm going to remove Robbie. I am blue. Ev is red. It's on the left
on
side.
you.
All right, so I go
All
second.
right, so I'll go third. I got
All
the
right.
snake.
All right. Kicking the draft off is the most predictable pick in draft history. And if I didn't pick this person, I would feel so guilty even tweeting out a draft graphic, considering no big deal. He does follow me. It's got to be Conor McGregor. Come on. You could say anything you want about Conor. When he fights, you're going to tune in. You're going to be more entertained by anyone in the entire UFC roster, the walkout, the fog he do. Then when he actually gets in the cage, even the past couple of Dustin fights that he lost, very entertaining fights up until the point where he lost. Even the Nate Diaz fight, UFC 196, lost that fight, great 1-rounder. So it's like, I have to pick McGregor. I would be sacrilege not to.
No, I mean, I'm honestly glad you had the number 1 pick because I probably just would have let you have him second or third.
I appreciate that.
So I think this actually worked out for me and Jack Mac just from a drafting perspective. We kind of just let you have him 1-1.
Yeah, thank you.
I think there's going to be no problems with a 1-1 pick. I'm almost afraid for a graphic perspective. This might be like a Jordan-esque where like you just have McGregor and you just like win.
Maybe.
That might be possible, but I'm willing
Maybe.
to fight through it though.
Yeah.
He's on the board.
All right. Second.
And lightweight's off for me too. I can't
Yeah,
draft
so
a
no more
lightweight now.
lightweights for you.
I am going with Max Holloway.
Great pick.
I think
Great
Holloway is, he's just, how many significant strikes has he thrown in his career?
A billion.
A billion.
10
Yeah.
trillion, yeah.
And he's fought
Also
McGregor.
absorbed as many, yeah.
Think about how many people he's fought. And I feel like he doesn't get enough love for how, even just active he is, and even active from a perspective of fans. He does Twitch. He interacts with fans. I think his son's almost adds to his exciting, the little Holloway.
It's a mini
Low blast.
So-
Mini blast.
Mini blessed. So shout out Max Holloway, and I am happy with my number 2 pick.
It's a good pick.
I wonder who you're gonna pick.
He would have been I have 2 in a row. He would have been one of them. Holloway. Was
Okay, yeah.
Great pick. So first, I think I just have to take this guy. I gotta go Nate Diaz.
I thought you were going to.
Yeah.
You have to. I was hoping he was gonna be if I went 1 overall, he probably would have been my first pick.
Yeah.
There's just you've seen guys you see guys get in wars and you see guys raise their stock when they lose. No one does it like Nate Diaz.
Yeah. Fact.
No one does it like Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is the guy, it doesn't matter who he fights. He could fight a heavyweight, a featherweight, a flyweight. You are getting your money's worth when Nate Diaz steps in the cage. That's why he doesn't want to fight in a little bit of 3 years.
That's crazy.
Pettis was his
but
last
it still
win.
feels like his stock is where it was last.
I mean, he was this close to knocking out Leon Edwards in the 5th round, which like he's the only guy that can like. And it's crazy for someone like him too, where like he's not known as this like crazy power puncher, and he's still just
rocks people.
He still just rocked like somehow he like a guy like Leon Edwards who's phenomenal. Like he hasn't lost a fight in like forever. He's on like a 9-10 fight win streak.
And the fact that he points and laughs after he does
like that's it's like even better. Like it's like it almost was better than if you just knocked him out.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
He's
to
like,
say.
oh, see, I got
and I'm sure some people
tank.
would disagree, but it's and even just like this socked and slap, just like everything. Like I got to go with him. And then this one, I'm sorry, because Holloway I would have really liked here. Holloway's a great choice.
Was high on my board.
And now,
really
all right. So for me, I'm Nate Diaz is welterweight.
Yep.
Welterweight off the board for me. So, and I almost didn't want because I think welterweight is a deep one, but
lightweight was a deep one. I looked at mine. I was like, all right,
well.
Gaethje and Chandler gone off mine.
That's where. So, I think I've been debating between a couple. I think I got to go Gaethje. It's like how like just action fighter gets. I think he's literally the amount of bonuses he's won in like the short period of time is insane. Like I think pretty much the only 2 fights that he's been in that he hasn't won bonuses were this last one and then the Khabib fight.
Yeah.
He's had multiple fights where he's won multiple bonuses.
Yeah.
He's now the recipient of Fight of the Year. Like Gaethje, another one, like you just are getting your money's worth when he steps in the cage. Even, I mean, he gets finished in the first round. He had 2 knockdowns. It was a 3-minute war. Like it was like an awesome fight, even though it was short. So, I mean, I think like I'm setting myself up pretty well with Nate Diaz and Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
So I feel good about that.
All right. So this was tough for me, but I do feel safe in this pick. I was going back and forth when I was talking. I'm going to go with Charles do Bronx Oliveira. I think he's a guy that we kind of forgot was exciting for a little bit there. And then over the past 2 to 3 years, I mean, you just brought up the fight against Gaethje. His fight against Chandler was unbelievable. His fight against Poirier was unbelievable. The Tony Ferguson, I mean, Tony Ferguson like died in that fight a billion times. So I think he's almost at the level, and I said it for this fight, and we said it going into his last fight with Gaethje. He's a guy that like if you have a friend who doesn't like, he's like, I want to watch MMA with you or UFC. Which one should I watch? Or like when should I come over and watch with you? I think whenever Oliveira fights, you're gonna get a good fight, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, I get why you like this. I think a lot of people agree with me on that end, and he's gonna make a lot of fans. So I am happy with my Charles do Bronx Oliveira. I also think he has an edge to him now that is good. Like it fires me up. That clip of him like walking out and he's like, my name is Charles do Bronx Oliveira, and then he says whatever he says in Portuguese, but it's like fucking sick. I love
they kept in the translation, it just kept being like, he's like, the champion has a name and it's Charles
Where is my belt?
The champion has a name.
He's awesome.
And in that red suit.
The red suit is awesome.
So I love my pick.
Great pick. Great pick.
All right. So I was just looking at my draft board, and I feel like there are a lot of fighters that I would put on my personal, like, if I were ranking my 1 through 5, they would maybe be higher than this guy because he's sort of a newer guy. I'm going to have to go Hamzat.
Okay.
I thought maybe one of you guys would draft him, so I'm going to have to draft him early here. I'm going to go Hamzat, and I got 2, right? I come around on this one. Hamzat, just be based on the Gilbert Burns fight alone, basically. I mean, it was exciting watching him fight before that, obviously.
Even the Leach fight was like him just like...
The Leach fight, the GM3, one punch. Dana. Yeah, all of that. I love that in a fighter. I'm going to go Hamzat, and then my second pick, I'm going to go down to featherweight, and this is more of a personal pick. I love Calvin Keator's style. I'm going to go Calvin Keator. His technical boxing is so fucking good, so crisp. His footwork is so crisp that I don't think I've ever seen a fight out of his that was boring as well. I mean, the Max Holloway fight, he got fucking worked, but even that,
he
showed his heart, all of that. So I'm going to go back-to-back picks. Hamzat, Calvin Keator, obviously 170, I'll say for Hamzat, and then Calvin at featherweight.
I like that. I actually love that because now I can just wait on my featherweight.
Yeah,
I think there's a few really good ones.
Yeah, because we
both got our
there's
featherweights.
A few really. I had like 5 or 6 featherweights written down. There's a lot of.
I know. I wrote a lot of featherweights and a lot of lightweights. A
lot of really good featherweights.
Those 2 like weight classes are amazing. And then back to Jack.
Yep. And then I have 2.
All right. This is tough. But I think I think you could say he's exciting, and I'm gonna go with him. I mean, I'm building a hell of a fucking roster, but I am gonna go with Adesanya. He's a middleweight. There are some guys I was looking at before. I remembered who I had already taken from a weight class perspective, but I do like Adesanya. I mean, his fight against Gaslam's probably one of the best fights I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, his knockout of Whitaker. The last fight against Whitaker wasn't great, but I think he just kind of, I mean, he knows what he's made it, and he's kind of just preserving.
Yeah, it's tough because you know what his like
I
peak
know.
excited, like most exciting fights are like.
I think if we drafted this after the Whitaker fight, like a few months after their first one,
Yeah.
he would have been in the top 3. But because if you think about it, his fight against Jan was kind of boring. His fight against Whitaker, Vittori, I mean, he just
Vittori wasn't super excited.
So I mean, this may end up being a deciding pick, but I'm safe with it because I feel like the featherweight, weight, and lightweight division is just stacked with exciting fighters. But there's so many guys still on the board that I'm just thinking of. But yes, so I'm safe with Adesanya as my 3rd pick.
That's going to look good on the graphic.
Yeah.
I'm having a tough time with this because I'm going to wait on featherweight just strategically.
So you took McGregor. I'm just writing it down so for the graphic.
I took McGregor, Hamzat, and Calvin Keator.
Thank you.
And I've just Diaz and Gaethje so far. I have one that I'm really debating that I'm wondering. I really believe he's like such a phenomenal action fighter and just a great fighter. I'm wondering how he's going to be received. This is almost, I feel like I'm pulling like a Chief here where I'm going with like my heart.
Oh,
I don't know how, I don't know. His fanfare is like decent, but probably not like up with the guys that have been drafted so far. But I think I'm going to do it because I think it's kind of I'm going to go Davis and Figueiredo.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
I'm going to go Davis and Figueiredo for the first one. Like just when you look at his last his last 5, 6, 7, I mean, he's a fucking killer.
Yeah. He is
an absolute killer.
Or be killed.
Yeah, like even just the Moreno fight. But I mean, even then the first fight was a fucking war. Second fight, obviously he loses. Third fight, he comes back and wins an absolute war.
Yeah.
All his, like just the way he just murdered Benavidez multiple times. Alex Perez. Like some of the guys just running through guys in that division. I just think he the way he just comes and throws hands, like no one throws heavy hands like him in that division.
No, nobody.
He's an absolute monster.
Nobody's even close.
A borderline. I think he would do very well in bantamweight as well.
Agreed.
But he's missed
it flyweight.
He has.
Too.
That was where the belt was on the line.
Yeah.
He fucked up. But it was the Benavidez one he missed weight. But he's just an absolute assassin. That one I'm going with pure. I just love watching that dude fight. And I think it's a pretty not a great division for action fighters. So I would have went featherweight just in terms of order, but I just strategically.
Yeah, we both picked.
There's no reason to go there now. And then my second one, this is really tough too. A lot of directions I could go. So I'm out on welterweight. I'm out on lightweight. I'm out on flyweight. This one's really, really tough. I think I'm going to have to go. I got a few outside the box ones that I like. This one's really tough.
I know as you start getting down in the weight divisions, it starts getting way tougher.
Are we still doing the unranked thing?
I don't think I think we already kind of have we all picked someone that's unranked?
No, not me.
No, I don't.
I picked unranked. 2 champs, and Charles doesn't have.
I guess I think Diaz is unranked. I guess.
Yep. Is McGregor's technically ranked?
He is, right? He's still.
We don't have to do the unranked. We didn't agree.
We could do the female bonus round still.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah. I have
so this is tough.
I really like my next pick.
I don't know who I'm going for with my next pick.
This one, because I'm honestly, I don't like. There's so many fighters I like more than him, but he is such an action fighter. Or do I want to just go with my heart? I hate that I'm being the guy that's holding this up.
Oh, don't.
I'm between two. That one's my head and one's my heart, and he is just super exciting. You know what? Fuck it. Nah, I'm going Sugar Sean.
Okay,
that's it. I wasn't going to go with him, but I'm going.
No,
Sugar
that's
Sean.
a good pick.
I'm going Sugar Sean.
It's similar to almost McGregor for me. Where I'm like, how could you not be?
Absolute box office.
Yeah,
puts on a show every single time he fights. Super exciting fighter. Obviously, fan favorite. I'll say after who I was debating between, I think there's a decent chance he gets drafted.
Okay,
but
at featherweight, or because we both have featherweights. so we can't.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saving that just because
Gotcha.
I know I can take him whenever I want.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no one took a bantamweight.
No one took a bantamweight.
And bantamweight, I think, is pretty.
No one's taking the
light
heavyweight.
heavyweight. Yeah,
A heavyweight was also a couple on my list for that one. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Sugar Sean. I just think there's no. I really like my squad there, my 4. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Sugar Sean. I think I have to. He's just box office.
All right, I think. Do I save this one or not?
These next 2 are my final 2, right? I got 3.
Yep.
So yeah. Well, other than the bonus round.
This is tough, but I'm just gonna go with. I think this guy is. I mean, he's beyond he's an action fighter too, but he's also beyond entertaining, and I don't think people really realize it. He's out of his mind. It's not Sean Strickland, but it's
that's where I thought you were going with that.
I did have him on my big board, but I believe
he's on mine as well. I was thinking about him.
However, I'm gonna go with Yuri Prochazka.
Okay, he's on my board.
Also
yeah.
on board.
I think he's a guy I mean, he literally just goes out there with his chin out, and he's gonna. I mean, his knockout of Dominic Reyes, his just fighting style, that's action. Like that is action, and whenever he steps into a ring, you have to watch. I'm really. Has there been like a UFC the vlog thing yet?
Embedded
For this upcoming one yet?
It's not till the week of.
Okay,
the
embedded,
so July, June, 4th, it'll start.
the embedded with him is going to be must watch for me because he's
Samurai.
he's like a samurai, a shaman. Who knows what he's doing? I'm interested in him. I don't know if he's going to beat Glover, but it's going to be a good fight. So I'm going with Yuri. He's my 4th pick.
This is tough for me. Back-to-back picks here. I could draft a middleweight. I could draft a heavyweight, flyweight. Man, this is tough. All right, my first one, I'm going to go with a heavyweight. I'm going to go with a guy who not only is an action fighter, but after he's done with the fight, the action just keeps on going. It's Tai Tuivasa.
He was who I was highly considering him.
I'm thinking about Tai Tuivasa because especially when we talk about action fighters, I think about fighters that get rocked and they don't turtle up. They just start swinging. And that's what Tai Tuivasa does. He did it against Greg Hardy. That's how he knocked Greg Hardy out. Him going right on top of the cage, getting the shoes thrown to him. I'm going to go Tai there.
The Derek Lewis fight also.
Fact. The Derek Lewis fight was
got
amazing.
hit. That was nuts.
Amazing celebration in that one. And then I don't know if I want to go with a light heavyweight here or a flyweight. That's who I'm between here. I'm going to go with a light heavyweight. And this is another personal pick because he's cool to people at Barstool. It's Jamal Hill.
I was highly debating him as well. He was on my big board.
I mean, he
was on my
he's awesome.
He comes out and throws fucking leather.
Throws leather, sweet dreams, great nickname.
Hard.
He's got great fights on his resume already. I'm just looking at the people he's beat. He's got a win over OSP, Jimmy Crute, and Johnny Walker early into his career. Obviously, he has that loss to Paul Craig.
Thiago Santos in a month or 2.
Yeah, so I'm going to go rounding out my board. Yeah, Jamal Hill. I like that. Jamal Hill and Tai Tuivasa.
Love that pick.
All right. This guy used to it's going to look good on a graphic, but also it may not look good on a graphic. But I think he's kind of I'm kind of surprised we've gotten to this point, but it is kind of chalky. But I'm going with Usman as my 5th and final pick.
It's a good pick.
I mean, his moment. There's multiple moments as a UFC fan you always remember. The way he slouched Masvidal, I'll never forget. I'll never forget my reaction.
Never forget that till the day
I thought
he
was gonna that was just gonna be another 5 rounds. He beats Masvidal and
Stomps on his feet.
But then he came out and instead of being Marty Snoozman, he literally put together one of the greatest knockouts I've ever seen. And then that was after he finished Gilbert Burns with kind of a jab. And that was
kind of came back from adversity in that fight.
Yeah, that was an exciting fight. The Colby stuff, the first Colby fight was a war. Amazing. The last one was a little bit more they traded, but not that much. But I
even dropped Colby in that one too.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
And I feel like I'm going against my Colby fanboy picking Usman, and also Usman, he's been in the office, so he's another Barstool.
Yeah, he wears that Barstool hat all the time.
All the time.
Red Barstool hat.
I I mean, I of course love Colby, but I really like Usman. I really think he's like great for the sport and whenever Usman fights, it's like it's must watch. And I understand people are like call him snoozeman, but that's old. If you still say that, anyone who says that he's boring is just wrong.
Yeah.
So I mean, I really like my team. I just completed it, and yeah, so I like my team. We still have our 6th bonus round.
So there's a decent chance I might have taken Ty or Jamal Hill with this pick.
I'm glad we're aligned on that.
So,
I feel like great minds think alike.
I really like those two. Those are kind of like two of my outside the boxes picks.
Yeah.
But I think this one's just like a note. He's the guy that obviously like his last performance wasn't spectacular, but he fought the champ. I gotta go Korean Zombie.
Yeah,
when you talk actually like the Mr. Irrelevant for at least the 5th round.
He hinted at a return, by the way. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
On Instagram in Korea, and basically said he wants one more fight in South Korea, which would be fucking amazing. That's the way to go out.
I just think for a while, like I know and it's tough. Like he's been on the good end of some wars. He's been on the wrong end of some wars. Obviously the Yair fight, like that's a very tough bit, but it was an absolute war, that a fight that he was winning. But that even just goes to show the kind of action guy he is, that he didn't care.
Yeah,
he was not waiting that last 5 seconds for it. Like he went all out. And he just got caught with a crazy up elbow.
Still
and got
maybe the craziest knockout in UFC history.
But I would think without question. And even like Yair was on the list, and I had like Shane Burgos was on my list. If there was a lot of good featherweights.
Billy Q, if I didn't
Billy Q was on my list as well.
Yeah, he'd be up there.
A lot of good action fighter featherweights.
Something I'll say about Korean Zombie. I mean, yeah, he got dominated by Volk, who I'm surprised was not drafted in this.
I thought about Volk. I thought about Stipe. He was on my list.
I already had a featherweight with Holloway, so I was like, I wasn't. And I think Holloway's more exciting.
Holloway's such a good pick, yeah.
But that guy cares, man. Like how devastated he was at the end of that. And I was talking to Bo Pelini this morning. We interviewed him for Unnecessary Roughness, and he was just saying, I was like, he feels a lot of the players in the NFL. After a game, if you took away the score bug and looked at how players interact after a game, you wouldn't know which team won and lost. Like fighting, I mean, of course, the visual aspect, but that's oftentimes not even a tell, because we've seen fighters who are more bloody than others win. But like you saw how devastated he was, and we've seen other fighters too. And it's probably because it's more so you're by yourself. It's not a team sport, but just so devastated. And that's kind of like it kind of brings an aspect to the sport that other sports don't have.
Oh yeah.
Not that they don't have it 100%.
Well, it's just different. It's different. It's a solo sport.
Yeah.
Where it's like you could. It was. And
it's 1v1.
You saw that he was so vulnerable in that moment where you saw him realize like my lifelong dreams are not going to come true.
Yeah.
And that's really sad to say. And he has nothing to be ashamed. They do.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
One of the best UFC MMA fighters of all time. Like one of the one
of the best walkouts.
I would have been beside myself if we did this kind of draft and him not get picked.
True.
For like an all-time exciting. I think I went with more like Jack. You went more like the champion route. I think when I saw it, I was like, just guys like I feel like honestly most of the guys I picked lost their last fight.
Yeah.
Besides Figueiredo.
That doesn't matter in this draft to
me. For me, I'm just like guys like they're getting my money like every time they fight, and he just like
who's your 4th pick?
Sugar Sean.
I
think Figueiredo, Sugar Sean, and then Korean Zombie ended up. I went
amazing pick.
I went all like small guys.
And your 4th pick was
I didn't go anything over welterweight.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Ty and Jamal Hill were the two I had like really starred for like bigger.
All right, if you guys in the chat, let's just see. Oh wait, we still have to do our 6th round.
So I guess then I go first for the female one.
Flip it around.
This one I think it's tough because there's a few I had written down. It almost makes it harder having like the first pick of it. But she's such a finisher. This is tough because like there's so many directions to go. I guess I've got to go. I got to go Valentina. I got to go with the bullet.
It's a good pick.
She's a finisher. Like she's a monster, absolute monster. We were just talking about her before. Obviously, there's a few different directions. I would think like the 3 that'll get picked, I think, are like relatively predictable. At least 2, I think.
I think so.
I think 2 at least are very predictable, but got to go Valentina, like pound for pound, and she pound for pound one woman in my opinion, and she just brings it every single fight. She can beat you on the feet. She has some. She has some like that head kick knockout over Jessica I is so vicious. Like girl, like females do not.
And the way she puts people in the crucifix and
like
what she did
to like Murphy, like Andrade. Like Andrade is a fucking monster.
Yeah.
For her to crucifix Andrade like that is unreal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take Valentina Shevchenko.
Jack.
All right. This person's unranked. I don't know how, She's been there. Must be like inactivity, I guess, but not even that. It's just weird. She's not ranked. But Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
who I would have taken. Yeah.
Yep, great pick.
I mean, I was thinking about doing Zhang too, but I think Joanna's just been doing it for longer. So, and she she literally went to war so much for us that her head flew up into another head.
Mega mind.
Fight of the year.
Fight of the year. That fight I'll always remember. I watched it in the office with Blaze. Controversial decision, but amazing fight. And Joanna, I'm really happy with. I was thinking about. I always do like a Mackenzie Dern fight, but just because you never know what's going to happen, and Draj is up there. I think Marina Rodriguez brings it every time.
For
too.
sure. For sure.
I think I'll go with a chalk pick in that case. I was going to go with Joanna. She definitely would have been my pick. She is my favorite female fighter to watch. And I there's part of me that's like, I love watching Rose fights. You can't pick Rose coming off her last fight.
I think Rose would have been my pick if the last fight didn't happen.
She has to like fall down the board a little bit. So I'm going to go chalk and I'm going to go Amanda Nunez.
Yep.
Like you could go Pena.
We really just fucked up.
About what?
None of us picked Molly.
Oh, meatball.
Or Patty.
Or Patty.
Early in the
They're coworkers.
No, we'll say on nobody tell them this, but we're gonna say on the graphic, can't pick co-promoters,
co-workers not allowed. Yeah,
but
Molly,
they know they'd be one overall.
Both of them, yeah. Shit,
because we all wanted to pick them.
Yeah, well, how did we not pick them?
I'm with it, and they're two exciting fighters. So it's not like
two incredibly exciting fighters.
Unranked guys that I was thinking.
I had them written down, but I just was more like. Patty,
they're too close. We're too far into the forest to see the trees.
It was that plus lightweight is so for Patty lightweight was so stacked. When you just have McGregor.
What are some of the guys you think that Gaethje didn't go that I'm not surprised by? But I'm looking at my list. I think this is a good unranked guy. Mac won Amir Khani. He always has Paul Craig. Those fights are always amazing.
I had Paul Craig, Aspinall.
Luke didn't get picked.
I had Luke on my list. So the one big one where I almost didn't. This was where I was going head over whatever. Aldo,
Francis.
That's I just took Sugar Sean. I had to, but Aldo was there. Moreno. I had Brendan Royval. I had down.
Moreno. I almost drafted Moreno over Tai Tuivasa.
I don't. Yeah, if you did, I probably would have taken Ty.
I mean, if somebody took Whitaker, I think Whitaker fits.
I
had Whitaker written down.
Bobby Knuckles.
I had Yair,
Kayla Harrison for the female.
Yeah, Shane Burgos and Billy Q. I had Tony. I had Poirier written down.
Yeah, I had Ricky Simone, Sean Strickland. You know who I really think brings it every time? I think he's ranked. Daniel Rodriguez. D-Rod.
I had him written down as well.
Yeah, he's probably
him. I had even Michelle Pereira. I had written down.
Oh, he's
I had Shavkat written down. I had
Edson Barboza.
Yep, I had Kevin Holland. I written down.
Oh, Holland's
a good one.
Brian Boom Kelleher.
Yep, that's solid.
Drew Dober. He brings it every time.
A good one.
Also, I had Dominic Reyes. I had written down.
Yeah, he brings it. I wrote down.
I had Dominic Cruz for his past.
Cruz I had as well.
I love his weird, awkward footwork style, getting in and out of stuff.
And of course, I had Masvidal.
I had Masvidal on my.
If I didn't take Nate Diaz, Masvidal, I would have picked him at some point. Also, you also had a sleeper when I had Adrian Yanez.
Yeah, he's
I'd written down, and then also, even though I don't know how popular this one would be right now, and that's probably why I didn't take it. But I mean, Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah.
I know obviously
he is an action fighter.
He's been the receiving end of lately, but I mean, so his prime to even getting in the war with Pedro Munoz where he gets knocked out, they were he's in exciting fights. So I knew I probably wouldn't draft him, but he was. I written him down at least.
I put down Dariush too.
Yeah,
he brings it.
Drakkar close fight was nuts.
I'm looking at
Dariush. Still has produced the greatest reaction from the commentators I think we've ever seen. When he got almost clipped, and then he wins the fight, and then they're all spilling over each other.
Oh, that was against Tyron Woodley.
No.
That was the Drakkar.
That was the close fight.
Well, just the way you see him get,
because he gets rocked and then he comes back,
and it's great. You just see this moment he has where he just his face just gets so composed.
Yeah,
and he just comes forward and lands that big hook, and then you see close his legs just go like this, and then he just smells blood.
Cormier starts falling over.
Oh my god! And then when he comes and just lands that big left, and close, his mouthpiece comes out, and he just drops.
I've said this before on the show.
Back of his head.
It's worth mentioning again. I think I don't fuck with the people that give Daniel Cormier so much shit on commentary. I understand he could be biased. I understand he can be over the top. I think it's worth it for how funny he is in a lot of those moments.
You need like you can't have everyone can't just be like Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
Like everyone can't just be the most like technically sound, like just everything like, and obviously like he gets a shit for being boring. Cormier gets a shit for, like you said, being like biased or just being almost like too like out there and like funny and like not like as knowledgeable enough.
He cracks me up.
You need that balance, because for me like as long as Anek's like leading the ship, you're good.
Agreed.
Anek's
even Brendan Fitzgerald, I think, is like
he's
very,
great.
very good.
I like
Fitzgerald and Bisping and Fitzgerald and
the worst
Felder
thing that Fitzgerald has
teams.
going for him is that Anik is just so good.
Yeah.
Like, and he's been there for so long.
It's like being a flyweight when like Demetrius Johnson was
like
running
exactly.
the division.
You're just never like
yeah.
Anek's just. I think Anek's one of the best commentators like in sports. Period.
Agreed.
He might be like my favorite in any sport.
And
honestly.
always shines in the big moments. Like everyone obviously
great.
talks about Rogan and Cormier more in terms of like the mainstream, but when you look at the iconic calls, they all come from Anik.
Dude, because he has like such simple ones that I love. Like I think I said it's like
with one of the greatest running knees you've ever seen.
The greatest knockouts you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Even the one he I love his call when like even when Poirier beat McGregor.
Yeah.
Like he's like Lafayette, Louisiana. He's like, your guy has done it. Like that like and I love the way he like said it too, because even though like just shouting out like Lafayette, Louisiana might sound like weird to some people, it was like he grasped the moment so perfectly, like of just the hype around fighting like a Conor McGregor, coming off this big layoff after he like coming off a win at that point, and then just knocking him out in the fashion he did, and just like him I just thought he like encapsulated the moment,
the
like,
vengeance
perfectly, and how much he like loves Louisiana.
Yes,
and the way like, and just the way like as he's saying this, like Poirier just had this like such savage look on his face, like he's just walking around the cage, he just like points at his wife, and he's just fucking like around like you can tell it hasn't even hit him yet. Like I just knocked out Conor McGregor, in the biggest fight of his like anyone could ever be in.
Yeah. Lee just texted us. Terrence McKinney would be a great.
McKinney was on my list.
Good call,
well.
Lee. Yeah.
For him, it just was like only 5 picks. Lightweight's just so stacked.
It is, yeah.
Like Chandler not getting drafted is crazy.
Crazy.
If I didn't get Gaethje, I probably would have drafted Chandler.
Yeah.
And like I said, Poirier would have been an unbelievable pick.
Yeah.
Lightweight was unbelievably stacked. It was
being that we were only 3 people, though, you guys comment right now your draft board.
Yeah, give us your 5.
I'm sure there's like such great fighters out there. You could
dude, you can make a 5. Beat us. You can make a 5 that weren't drafted. That'd be unbelievable.
Yeah. So that'll be the thing for this week. Leave a comment of your team, only 1 per weight class. That's the rule. Extra round female fighter, and then that'll be the thing. And you can come back
looking at some of the
show Thursday
comments.
Or were you doing a breakdown show Thursday?
We should do something similar. Like
we could do something else.
Yeah, we could do like
Robbie Lawler, all-time golden.
Great pick. I had Nick Diaz written down as well. I almost went the double Diaz combo.
Could have gone Gegard Mousasi if you want.
I almost was an asshole just because Nick Diaz is still listed on the active roster as a middleweight.
I got both.
I almost went double Diaz. I almost just went Nick, and just even though Nick Diaz has only fought middleweight, I think like once or twice. Maybe.
Some guy called us casual, and then listed a bunch of fighters that just aren't active. Wanderlei, Fedor, Anderson Silva.
We're talking about
BJ Penn.
Fighters, yeah.
So shout out Brandon.
Yeah, it was active. I thought we were under the impression it was fully active, just active fighters.
Yeah.
Gregor Gillespie.
Not terrible.
He's also more of a wrestler, though.
But just like when you like for me, but that like a Gregor Gillespie, my counter to that would be like, look at the lightweights.
Yeah.
Like, how can you justify taking him over McGregor, Poirier, Gaethje, all these guys?
Shout out Michael Jordan. It's instead of D, it's a T. KKF.
Yeah, I had him written down as well.
He's
Piotr Jan.
All right, some draft ideas.
Peter Jan I had written down.
He's good.
Logan
I don't
DeWolf.
think of him as much like action. I think of him more like technical.
Yeah, no, I agree. But he brings it.
So Logan
Sandhagen I had written down as well.
Logan DeWolf said Sean Brady, and then Logan DeWolf also said draft ideas. Fights of all time, out of cage moments, odd moments, press conference moments, prospects.
All good ideas.
Tough moments. Yeah.
Somebody,
Luke Al said Brian Barberena. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of exciting. That last fight against
Gotti Ward.
You know, Gotti Ward with elbows.
Yeah. The one caveat with elbows thrown in there.
But it seems like best gambling moments. That's a good one.
Also, shout out Teddy Atlas. I tried to just do a full on Teddy Atlas impression at the end of Rough and Rowdy.
You did. You were awesome when you said that.
To go straight Teddy Atlas for that one.
I I know. Were you like actually that mad about it? Or okay,
Not to break kayfabe, but no.
Okay.
I mean, there was
You
part of me that was like, "What
seemed
the fuck?"
I was like, "Oh man, he's really
Some of the
mad."
paper
And I was
is
like,
like-
and I was also like, "Oh wow, yeah, he's mad about that. That's cool."
Yeah.
But by the way, great job stepping up
Thank
without
you.
Dave. That was
Yeah, you guys
nerve wracking. Yeah,
I'm sure it was, but it was
You
awesome.
guys, it was really the fight when Dan was loving the guy that kept throwing like the backhands.
that was
when you
we
guys
like clicked.
You guys like caught your stride and
Yes.
just like kept, after that
it
was
felt
like
like
it was money.
we could like feel it in the moment. Like, all right, we're rolling. It was
that
like when
was
we
even as a
decided,
viewer.
like,
That was I meant to say that to you. I was sick and
Yeah.
said I was like that fight. Like you guys crushed
So
it.
It made,
that fight ending with the both of them on the ground, like they're on the
They both were just like
dude, that's a fight. Yeah. Oh,
That
did
was-
you know that those brothers have a podcast?
They already have a podcast.
Yeah.
And their podcast touches on everything from like fighting
to
gun
literally,
rights.
Big Cat said the episode he just saw the last episode that he saw. It literally was just titled George Floyd.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
George
okay.
Floyd, like transphobia,
Oh my
the
God.
religion of Islam. Like they
I would listen to them talk about anything though.
So
So I'm
they've-
down with it.
they've broken down everything from fighting to
Yeah.
Islam to
I'm sure Roe v. Wade is next.
oh yeah, they
Yeah.
may have already broken it down. at this point.
I love Dave just tweeted. He was like the Able brothers just keep asking me for money. I'm just gonna keep giving it to them.
They had like a half Chicago, half Philly accent.
Yinza,
It sounded
yeah,
like
it was
like
a
the
it was a
Yins.
oh, come on,
bizarre
Dave. You know you
accent.
could give us some money, some 500. Come on, a honeymoon,
You
Dave.
didn't get 500 just for that. You didn't show up. Like,
they were
the
great. They were
the
all
last thing or one idea for a draft would be
I
like
don't hate the fights draft.
random
Fights would be good,
fighters
yeah.
that we hate for no reason.
time.
Or honestly, if we
Like, it's not
we
even
were
Easily
like-
to piss off 15
if we
fighters.
were
Yes,
I was gonna say
Yes.
I'll take you one further. If we really be assholes, take like the most boring fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Sam Alvey, 1v1 pick or 1-1 pick.
Corey,
I don't even know
like,
if he'd be one.
I hate Corey McKenna because she didn't. What is going on out there?
They a war. I
We
assume.
have, yeah, we
There's
have
guns in the
pellet
office.
Oh, it's the
Pelicans,
Pelicans.
yeah.
Thank you. But anyways, maybe next time we can like try to get the chat a little bit more involved. They are sending stuff in the chat.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And we
got
can
like
put it
50
up.
people watching live.
Yeah,
to
shout
everyone
out.
watching live. The
And
true
like the
50s.
video, share it. Everything literally matters for this because
Yeah.
we're trying to build this and we're going to continue, but like support matters a lot.
We need the
For
support
sure.
for this one.
So, and I know you guys already are supporting, but just know it means a lot and we thank you.
yeah, absolutely. And we will see
Love
you.
you
Follow
guys.
us on social media for like what time we're going live. We'll be back later this week and of course next week and the weeks coming forward. So I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go turn the broadcast off because, like you
Yep.
said, self-produced show now.
God bless. We love you guys.
I like what Robbie
Thursday.
said.
We'll chop it up.
Feels
We'll come
like
up
an
with
independent wrestling show.
some more headlines come up. We'll talk about those and maybe come up with a new draft topic
Maybe we'll get a guest.
and maybe a guest.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. But yeah, see you guys.
God bless.